everyone. It's Kathy Jones calling. And I just wanted to give you guys a bit of information on how to use the maps that we have. I already have it open here. And you will see an area in Ontario called St. Thomas area with a few red dots. The question arose that I'm not finding any routes to survey near me. I can't read the map. And perhaps you're having technical problems. But I find often it's the case where we just don't have any routes near you, and that may be the concern. So here is a classic example here, the Port Stanley area, which looks like it should have wetlands and should have routes, but doesn't. Now there's three reasons why we may not have routes there. One, there's no marshes. Two, there's marshes, but nobody has established a route in that marsh yet. Or three, you may not see any available routes because they're just all assigned. So how can you tell? When you look at this map, you can look at the little dots, and they are the routes that are established for the Marsh Monitoring Program. So 507 here. Let me see if I can grab this here. 507 here. Is assigned. So that one we know is assigned because it's green. These two here, 449 and UOED 05 and 480 are unassigned because they're red. Also, there's blue dots are ones that we need amphibian surveyors on. There's none in this area. And there's purple dots, which are ones we need bird surveyors on. There's none in this area. Now, if you go in and you click on the dot, we'll go to this one here. It gives you a little bit more information. So here we have a map that shows you where exactly it is. We also have a little bit of information on the site. Now, this is a single station. So we rarely have links to another map for single station ones because they're well shown on this map. And it says it's available for birds and amphibians, or amphibians and birds. Same thing with ON 105. If we click on that, it will tell us it's assigned for birds and amphibians, and that there's one station there. So say you want to survey in this area, but none of these routes suit you. What do you do next? You can look and see what other wetlands are around. And there's a couple ways to doing this. One, I would suggest you read our route establishment fact sheet first. And then you can go in and look closer in on the satellite. So over here, base map, that's what we had before. Now we go to satellite. And you can see the area and the land cover. And you can look for wetlands. It's a lot and it's hard to read. So another option you can do is go to a wetland inventory. Now there's two wetland inventories, the Canadian Wetland Inventory and the Wetland Mapper by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We'll use the Canadian Wetland Inventory. First off, these big blobs, they're awful. Let's get rid of those, which is clicking on this dot. And then we can magnify into our area of interest, which is over here, Port Stanley, and we can ask ourselves, well, what routes are available in that area? And what we are looking for routes is marshes, which is this one here, the bright green. And so when we go in here, there's not a lot. There's some here. Let me see if I can get my annotation to work right here. There's some here. And there's a little bit here and here. So just from looking at this, you can see that there's limited number of locations you can survey. And then what you would do next is you would just pick that area and go in and look at it and see, can I actually get there? And it's on Fruit Ridge Line, and it doesn't look like we have a road, but we can change the layers. And then you'll have to say, when you look at that, I can only get there if I know the farmer or the landowner. And that's the way you'd look for other wetlands using our wetland inventory information. Here's a great spot here that you could consider as well. And just look for spots that you can look like you can get into and that are big enough to hold a football-sized area of wetland, of marsh. That's it. I will stop sharing and hopefully you will find this helpful.